You're listening to an Airwave Media Podcast.
Welcome to From Beneath the Hollywood Sign. If you love old movies, Hollywood history, or the golden age of filmmaking, you've come to the right place. This is the podcast that talks about amazing stories of Tinseltown from another era and fascinating conversations with writer-producer Steve Cubine and actress-writer Nan McNamara.
So, Steve, did Ava Gardner and Howard Hughes have a good relationship?
Well, they did until he dislocated her jaw.
What?
Well, don't worry. She hit him back with an ashtray.
From Beneath the Hollywood Sign is the gin joint for you.
How's this? I'll ask a question.
What question?
Jazz question. Hey, you get it right. We roll.
I know everything there is to know about Miles. Lay it on me.
Recorded in Chicago, Illinois, with your hosts, Ken, Matt, Neil, and Jeff. This is Triviality.
The cream of the crop!
Hello and welcome to this very special Lay It On Me episode of Triviality. In the studio with me today, this is Jeff, is Neil. How you doing, Neil?
I'm doing well. How you doing?
Doing well, thanks. And joining us as our special guest today for a very close, near and dear to my heart subject, Parks and Recreation, we have Wesley Wells. How you doing, Wesley? Good. So if you want to just tell us a little bit about yourself, tell us how you got into maybe trivia and especially the show.
Yeah, so for me, I got into trivia at a young age. I was always a big reader, and I found later on that reading a lot is very conducive to being good at trivia because you just pick up so many things from books. I still read a lot, but honestly, I don't watch a lot of television or movies, but one day I decided to try watching Parks and Rec because I heard so many people talking about it and I love it. And honestly, that's the reason, the first reason I got a Netflix subscription was for that and for Friends. And so I've seen Parks and Rec now 3 times all the way through. And it's a great show and very clever. I really enjoy it.
Yeah, I haven't seen Parks and Rec yet, and I've only seen clips that Jeff has shown me, and it looks like so much. It looks like so much fun. I love the style, so I'm really looking forward to checking that out. And I guess just a quick mention before I throw it to Jeff. Wesley is one of our newest Patreon members, so thank you for doing that and for supporting the show. We really appreciate it being so new.
Sure.
What about when did you get into Parks and Rec, Jeff?
So I got into Parks and Rec basically when the show started, which, if I'm not mistaken, was 2009. Yeah, I want to say I was in college at the time, and I was a big fan of The Office. So it was a lot of similar people working on The Office and some of the talent from there. Michael Schur is the show creator. So for any of you who are familiar with some of his stuff, he's really brilliant, talented guy. He's written some other things that I've enjoyed, and then he portrayed very kind of below the surface. He was Mose on The Office, so like not a character that really speaks or does anything, but he's really kind of cool, creative guy. So yeah, I started watching it right from the get-go. At first, I thought it was a little slow, but it was only the first 6 episodes, so kind of like The Office. I was like, oh, let me come back, and I watched it on TV the whole time, actually. So one of the very few shows I started with right from the beginning. But
that's great. And other than Friends and Parks and Rec, Wesley, are there any other, I know you say you don't watch too much TV, but any other shows that you're into or you're getting into now?
I've watched The Office. I really like The Big Bang Theory. So I guess I'm mostly sitcoms.
Yeah. Oh, hey, nothing wrong with sitcoms.
Yeah, we like those here.
Yeah.
All right, Wesley, are you ready?
Lay it on me.
You got it. First question to you. What is the name of Donna's realty company?
Oh, goodness. It's been several months since I watched this. Is it Regal Meagle?
It is Regal Meagle Realty. Yep.
Ooh, great poll.
Yeah, good one to start with.
I know nothing of this show, so it's just going to be exciting to watch you figure these questions out.
It's been about 6 months since I watched the show all the way through, so might have a little bit of rust.
When we first started messaging, I had just finished rewatching the show, At that point, I believe that was the 4th time. And then I was so inspired by some of the ideas I had for writing questions that I decided to rewatch it. And I'm now in season 6, and I'm almost done with it, my 5th full time. So,
Yeah.
Question 2. What famous public works project does Leslie compare the Sullivan Street Pit project to in the pilot episode?
Okay.
If it helps, I'll give you a little bit of a quote here.
Yes.
She says, and this is my, and then names that project. So
I knew it's something like that, and I'm trying to hear it in her voice to figure that one out. Oh, I'm going to know it when I hear it. I don't know. I can't pull it.
So she states that this could be her Hoover Dam.
Yes, her Hoover Dam.
Question 3. What is the name of the song that Andy writes for little Sebastian's funeral?
Oh, well, Leslie tells him that she wants it to be like Candle in the Wind, only times 5,000. So he writes 5,000 candles in the wind.
Right. Andy writes 5,000 candles in the wind. I thought that would be a good opportunity because it's just such a memorable line from Chris Pratt. Yeah, it's got to be like candles in the wind, except 5,000 times better. So well done. Question 4. Where was Darwish Sabir Ismail Ghani born? You might know him as Thomas Montgomery Haverford.
He was born in South Carolina.
He was indeed, South Carolina.
These colors don't run.
Why did you change your name to Thomas Haverford? Nobody with an Indian name gets elected to politics.
What about Barack Obama?
Well, I didn't know that at the time.
He's great on Master of None. Aziz, right? Is that Aziz?
Yeah, it's Aziz.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's really good, yeah.
Speaking of Tom, can you name 2 of the businesses that he started?
Rent-A-Swag and Tom's Bistro.
Yep, that would be 2 of them.
I don't know if this is one. Is one of them Entertainment 720?
Yes.
Yes,
That would be
Entertainment
another-
720 is the other one.
He's also, I also would have given you credit for Snake Juice, as he's one of the founders and
yes.
principal investors in Snake
Absolutely.
Juice. So, yeah, Entertainment 720, where dreams come, they come true. You gotta hear that. You gotta hear that drop, Neil. It's really funny.
Entertainment 720, where dreams come, they come true.
Question 6. What is the name of the steakhouse in Indianapolis that Ron Swanson is devastated to find out has been closed by the health department?
That would be Charles Mulligan's Steakhouse.
Charles Mulligan Steakhouse. Yep. Well done. Yeah, when he runs up, he's like, do you think there's any steaks left in there? What did you think they do with them?
Just a little score update here. Wesley is 5 for 6, so batting great right now. Like the great Stan Musial.
That's right.
Yes, absolutely.
Number 7. What does Leslie call the bathroom, especially when she's nervous?
Oh, the Whiz Palace.
Yep, the Whiz Palace. Question 8. A few characters in the show have alter egos. Could you provide both Ron's saxophone playing alter ego and both of Andy's main character alter egos?
Okay, Ron is Duke Silver, and Andy is Burt Macklin FBI, as well as Johnny Karate.
I can only have a bit of a chuckle. Neil, do you want to see how I actually wrote that on my sheet? It says Burt Macklin FBI. So.
Is that the meme where he's like in the FBI jacket and he like turns quickly with the sunglasses?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
See, I see all the memes and it's really funny, and I was like, man, I really got to watch this show now, so I get it.
Question 9. What are the names of Dr. Saperstein's children?
Oh, John Ralphio and Mona Lisa.
Yep, John Ralphio and Mona Lisa. Maybe I'm going a little too easy. I can ramp this up a bit. All right. Again, I've written more questions than I know what to do with.
Let's start it getting harder at 11 so that you turn it up to 11.
I can do that.
Yeah.
Question 10. What town was Leslie Knope born in?
Leslie Knope was famously born in Eagleton because Joan Calamezzo will not put her book in her book club because there's a lie in it, and that lie is that Leslie Knope was born in Pawnee.
That's right. They do still get the endorsement from Joan, if you remember, but they also get like the what's the sticker she puts on there? Like busted or something like that. Yeah, like you get the endorsement sticker, and then on top of the endorsement sticker is like the you've been debunked, essentially.
Yes.
Well, so far through 10, I think you've got 9 right, so I think it's time to turn it up to 11 on this one. So
Great.
Salvatore Manfredini cuts Leslie's hair in a style known as the Mayor before her attendance of what event in honor of her mother, Marlene Griggs Knope?
That would be the Tellinson Awards.
The Tellinson Awards, yeah. Question 12. What is Ron's number 1 and number 3 favorite foods?
This is also mentioned at the Tellinson Awards because he says the reason he likes to attend is for the bacon-wrapped shrimp because it's his number 1 favorite food wrapped around his number 3 favorite food. So bacon is his number 1 and shrimp is his number 3.
Yep, you've got it. Question 13. Out of all the things that's terrible about Tammy 2, what's the absolute worst thing?
Oh, I know the quote. Can't pull it.
The only thing worse is she works for the library.
Yes, she works for the library.
Yeah, there's a great scene where they're kind of going back and forth about how much they dislike her, and then they both just resign themselves to, the worst part about her, and they just kind of sigh and look at each other. She works for the library.
The opinions of Parks and Recreation do not reflect Triviality's love of librarians.
Well, and they're it's just her specifically, in that context. But on to question 14. I thought I would go with an easy one, and then I changed my mind and went with a hard one. So I was going to originally ask what the name of Ben's board game is, but I figured that's too easy.
Cones of Dunshire, sure.
Right. So I'm going to go a little bit deeper on this one as a super fan. Can you name at least 2 of the roles of characters in the Cones of Dunshire?
Okay, so Ledgerman is one, because all the accountants fight over who's going to be Ledgerman.
Basically the scorekeeper, yeah.
And then, can we count Architect as Ben being the one who designed the game? Or do I need to give a different one?
I'm looking for one of the specific character roles in the game.
Sure.
So yeah, they call Ben the Architect, that's the nickname, but no, I'm looking for...
Yeah.
So you've got Ledgerman, that's one of them.
Ledgerman, I can see them playing the game. There were all these crazy things. I don't feel like there was a wizard or anything, but I'm not coming up with anything better, so I'll say wizard.
Okay.
I don't think that's right.
So 1 Ledgerman, 1 corporal, 1 arbiter, 1 maverick, 2 warriors, although the game can be played with only 1, but it's not as good. And there are 2 wizards. So
yes.
Other non-playable character roles include shamans, farmers, alchemists, abbots, brinksmen, provosts, and deniers.
All right. Well, after 14 questions, Wesley has gotten 13 correct, and he has 1 question left in our regulation here of the Parks and Recreation Laid On Me. So let's see if he can get 14 out of 15 for a very, very respectable and astonishing score.
Now, keeping in mind, there are many questions that I would like to ask about Parks and Recreation, but we're not gonna do a 3-hour Lay It On Me, as much as I love the show. If people are interested, I recommend you watch it highly.
Yes.
But I did write a question with Neil in mind for our last one here. So in the season 4 episode, The Debate, Andy entertains Leslie's campaign donors by retelling the plots to some of his favorite movies to distract from the fact that they don't have cable to see the debate coverage. He discusses the plots to 3 movies: Rambo, Babe, and this 1989 film. Name the film.
Was it Die Hard?
It was Roadhouse.
Roadhouse, that's right. Staring at Patrick Swayze and I missed it.
That's because you get lost in his steely eyes.
So, in an effort when talking about this the other day to encourage Neil to watch, I just played the scene where he redoes Roadhouse, like shot for shot. And then he's like, and then the motorcycle comes in and it's like, rah, 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 and then Swayze grabs a hold of the guy. And they reenact the throat ripping scene. So for any of you who have seen Roadhouse or who know who the actor Marshall Teague is, Neil has another show which he hosts called Best of the Best Podcast, and they had Marshall Teague on. So if you'd like to hear even more about throat ripping, Neil is the resident expert, and his show is good. You should check it out.
Yeah. Check out on your cell phone. Just go to type in Best of the Best Radar, and you'll see the episode with Marshall Teague, whose throat was ripped out, like Jeff said. Some great behind-the-scenes stories of him and Patrick Swayze and his career. Well, yeah, after 15 questions, Wesley got 13 correct, which is an awesome score. And almost 14 there. I guess we'll give him a brownie point for knowing the name of the board game, correct? even though it wasn't an official
Correct.
question. But yeah, he gets an extra brownie point there. So 13 and some change, we'll say.
Yeah, I think you're safe from Tom Cruise today.
Very safe. He's basically almost shooting Tom Cruise back. So,
So I had started to frame out a couple potential bonus games to play afterwards. I have one that I'm just going to go through. I didn't have time to kind of finish what I wanted to do with the one, but it was going to be called Know Your Boo. And I was going to do quotes from different characters in the show. And then you had to tell me the character. So I haven't fleshed out enough of those yet. But as a fun little bonus game, can you name 10 of the alternate band names for Mouse Rat?
Okay, I can try. So Scarecrow Boat was what they were originally. Just the Tip, Possum Pendulum, Penis Pendulum, Nothing Rhymes with Orange, Everything Rhymes with Orange, Nothing Rhymes with Blorange. How many does that give me?
You're up to 7 so far. They're all correct.
Okay. There was another one, that Puppy Pendulum.
Yep. That completes that series.
Yes. I knew there were 3 pendulums, and I was trying to think of the third. Okay. There were some funny ones, like topical ones. I'm not pulling those. Man. There were like 30 of them as well, so I should be able to get 2 more. Their original one. Don't have them.
Okay. So in order I have here, as Wesley named 7, that's pretty impressive. There was another series in there that you missed, including 3 Skin, 4 Skin, and 5 Skin.
Yes.
But then you also would have had Malice in Chains, Punch Face Champion, Flames for Flames, the Andes, Andy and the D-Bags, Crackfinger, Department of Homeland Obscurity, Radwagon, Jet Black Pope, Muscle Confusion, Angel Snack, Ninja Dick, Andy Dwyer Experience, Death of a Scam Artist, God Hates Figs, Razor Dick, Teddy Bear Suicide, 2 Doors Down, Tackle Shaft, Handrail Suicide, Scrotation Marks, and of course, when playing without Andy, Rat Mouse.
Oh, of course. I can't believe I forgot God Hates Figs, because that was my favorite.
That one's really good. Man, those are so funny. So he performs throughout the show, or just talks about having all these bands?
Okay, so as far as I know, in the show, they actually perform under Mouse Rat, Scarecrow Boat, and there's maybe 1 or 2 more.
When he first talks about his band, I think he says their name is Just the Tip, like in the 2nd or 3rd episode or something.
So again, well done on that. Wesley, you've gotten 13 out of 15, and you almost had the 10 out of the, I think, about 30 for the Mouse Rat bonus there. But, well, yeah, really well done. Thanks again. It was a lot of fun having you come out. It's a show that I like very much.
I had a great time. Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. Anything else that you kind of want to talk about, or you want to plug? Anything else you're into right now?
I want to give a shout out to the members of the Sinister Six. That's myself, Dan Lundberg, Jeffrey Seguratan, Mike Cameron, Phil Sanford, and Scott Barber. I think all 6 of us listen to the show and really like it. We have a chat and we discuss it every week. So thanks for a great show.
Oh no, thank you. That's so awesome to hear. We like interacting with listeners of the show, and having Dan on recently. We've had Jeffrey on. We told Dan, invitation is open to any members of the Sinister Six. We think all you guys are great from the things we've heard of you or have seen of you online, and welcome anytime, whether it's a regular game of death, or Lay It On Me. And yeah, let us know when you guys are listening to the show together or chatting. If you have any funny quips or jokes, we'd love to hear them. So you know where to find us. I guess for Jeff, if you guys have any topics that you want to either write questions for Lay It On Me that you know a lot about,
Sure.
or you want to answer, definitely email us at trivialitypodcast@gmail.com, or go straight through the website and you can message us there. Jeff, you want to take over for Patreon?
Of course. Other than just listening, spreading the word, giving us feedback, it's been really great. A lot of the stuff we've seen lately has been really nice. We've had a lot of growth with our patrons recently. Basically, we've doubled in just the month of October. Part of that is thanks to Wesley here. So thanks again. If you'd like to support us directly, you can do so at patreon.com/trivialitypodcast. So check us out.
Yeah. Any last words, Wesley, as far as a favorite quote, moment from the show, anything like that?
Yes, there is one I want to talk about.
I would say, definitely tell me what I missed. What were you upset you didn't get a question on?
One question I was so anticipating was when April tells Andy she loves him for the first time, what Andy said afterwards as a reply that made her mad.
Dude, that's awesome.
Awesome sauce.
That's right, awesome sauce.
That's funny.
And then later in one of the interviews, April says, "I'm not mad at Andy. I awesome sauce him."
Well, to triviality, Wesley is awesome sauce. So, thank you for joining us today, man.
Thank y'all.
Oh, you're welcome. That was Triviality.
So Swayze runs, boom, tackles the guy off the motorcycle. Dude's like, "You're dead, bro." Comes at him. Swayze ducks, scissor kick. The guy has Swayze's head, and he says, "I used to guys like you in prison." By the looks of this guy, this is not consensual sex we're talking about. We see bad guy had a gun the whole time. He's like, "I'm gonna kill you the old-fashioned way." Swayze's like, "Not this time." That subtext, he doesn't say that. Bypasses the gun, hooks the arm, back to the secret move he used before to kill somebody. He feels so bad about it, but this time he has to do it because of self-defense. Takes the esophagus out of the neck area. You can't eat. You'll starve to death. And that is Roadhouse. What should I do next?